First of our Friday reflections from Strawberry Field. Yes, the doors opened again this morning after the second lockdown, and we're thrilled to welcome back staff and visitors alike. Now, the sharp-eyed among you will have noticed I'm not actually at Strawberry Field. No, I'm still at home, but we'll return to site next week, which I'm really looking forward to. So this is all about new beginnings. New beginnings for all of us, another chapter in this extraordinary year. Little did we know in January what was coming our way. Then I think of how we were running as normal. Then, of course, faced lockdown in March. Then reopened with restrictions, navigated our way through that. And then the second lockdown, which we've just come out of. More change. But we know now that what we're so looking forward to, what we're enjoying the very thought of, is of being together. And as offering Strawberry Field again as a special place, a safe sanctuary, and a spiritual space for all. And yes, it still means you have to pre-book our cafe and the visitor exhibition if you want to come. You still have to wear masks throughout the building unless you're sitting down and having something to eat or drink. We know that you'll arrive and have your temperature taken and do track and trace details, all of those things that amazingly we've all become accustomed to as normal. But you know, it's so important because we need to do that in order to keep ourselves safe and others safe. And actually even more so at Strawberry Field, because as you know, at the heart of Strawberry Field is the Steps to Work training programme. And that's for adults with learning disabilities or other barriers to employment. So for the vulnerable, it's so important that we stick to those rules. We have the social distancing, we wash our hands all the time, we wear the masks, and we do it gladly because we can be together, even if it is at a distance. All of this makes me reflect on the continuing story of Advent, the journey towards Christmas. The journey of faith, or exploring faith, is full of stop-starts. One moment we feel as though everything has opened up to us, and it's great. And then the next, we may feel that we're facing difficulties and challenges beyond our control, and everything seems to close down or lock down. We're trapped in a darkness, unable to find our way out of the problem. Mary and Joseph faced many extremely difficult challenges and ways that they would never have expected, things they would never have expected to face in their lives. There were physical restrictions placed on them through Roman occupation of their homeland. There were rulings about where they had to go in order to fill all the requirements of the census. Now, as we know, with the great gift of hindsight, we know that what God was and God is ahead of the game. As is often said, we know the future. God wins. But it must have been tough to face what they had to face. It must have been tough facing what they had to face, not knowing what was coming next. Knowing a baby was to be born, a very special baby, but not the details, not the ins and outs of what would happen when. And of course, in our times, in these circumstances in which we find ourselves in this pandemic. There are people who are facing very tough times, not knowing what's coming next. And also those who know what's coming and are fearful. When Strawberry Field was closed for lockdown 2, I drove past the centre one evening. It was early evening, but the lights were still on. They were on in the garden and in the Christmas wreaths, which are on the gates on the road. To see those lights gave me real hope. We weren't there, the people weren't there, but the lights hadn't gone out. The Message version of the Bible gives this translation of a verse in Isaiah. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. For those who lived in a land of deep shadows, light, sunbursts of light. And from the book of John, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. So as we start this next chapter of this extraordinary year, let's help all of those around us who feel they are living in a land of deep shadows, and remind each of them of what God promises through Jesus. I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will have the light of life and will never walk in darkness. I hope you'll join us on Friday for the first of our reflections from Strawberry Field itself, with team members. Various team members will be taking part of that. We'd love to see you. So until then, we're going to close with the lines of the prayer that we've used for all of our reflections during the lockdown time. If you feel you can join in, please do. Otherwise, just take a moment to be still. As days turn to weeks and the weeks turn to months, we reach for you, Lord. As we doubt, then don't doubt, then doubt again, we ask that you take away our fear. I do believe. Please help my unbelief. As thoughts turn to those we long to be close to, we ask that we become more aware of your closeness to us. How can we be strong and courageous? Give us the strength we just don't have ourselves. For today, for tomorrow, and for all the days of our lives. Amen.